Good morning. It is my honor and my pleasure to be able to talk with you this morning about Edgar Cahn. Edgar Cahn was my husband, my love, my teammate, my inspiration for 23 years. I joined him in 1999 and we got married in 2000 and we were together until January of 2022, when sadly he passed away. In those years together, working with Edgar so closely, I learned so much. Edgar was an institution builder, an amazing institution builder from an early age. He and his first wife, Jean Cahn, created the Legal Services Program and developed the National Legal Services Program, which in the years since has served literally millions of people. It changed the nature of law in this country. A second thing that Edgar did was to work with tribal leaders across the United States to press for tribal self-government, which at that time was denied to them. And they were successful in achieving the Native American the American Indian Self-Determination Act of 1975, which in the years since has opened up so many possibilities for tribal self-government and has allowed the tribes to thrive in a very different way than before. He and Jean co-created a law school which was at the time revolutionary for its diversity and for its modes of teaching, because they applied clinical legal education, which at that time was virtually unknown and is now required by the American Bar Association of all law schools. But the thing that Edgar was most proud of, right to the end of his days, was the spread of time banking around the world. So why? Why was that one accomplishment so important to Edgar? Well, institutions are designed with goals and outcomes in mind. And very often the reasons for those goals and outcomes are not explicit, but Edgar was very explicit in all of his institution building. The goal was to make a world that is more just, more fair, more equal for all. But there's whys that lie behind that why. And there are three that I want to share with you this morning. The first is that every person, every human being is a miracle in Edgar's view. The second, that we need each other. And the third, that our institutions should serve us and not we them. So I'm going to go into each of those in a little bit more detail. The first, we are all miracles. Edgar had his sayings, and one of his sayings was, Chris, you know, there are more synapses in our heads than there are stars in the universe. He would say that over and over again to me, to others, and it was such an important truth to him that we are all miracles. Therefore, we all deserve respect. We all deserve to be nurtured, cared for, and to be honored and rewarded and recognized for the things that we contribute to the world. The second, that we need each other. Another saying of Edgar's was, we come into the world 9 months in debt. It is natural human instinct to want to give back, to want to contribute, to be seen for our contributions, to be honored for our contributions, because there lies the root of our resilience, our security, our well-being, our ability to grow in ourselves and be the best that we can be. We need each other. And so he would always say, pay it forward, pay it forward. When you receive, give. But that in turn means that our giving must be accepted. We need the opportunities to give, and so many people are not given those opportunities. So this is another reason why we must create institutions that deal with us fairly, equally, give us equal opportunities to be contributors as well as receivers. And then there is the third, that we must design our institutions to make us all that we can be. So many of our institutions and our economy at large are not designed that way. They are designed to make money or to be efficient or all sorts of ends that barely hold human well-being in mind. And to that end, Edgar looked at what he called the core economy of home, family, neighborhood, community, the places where we are nurtured and grow into being human beings. Those are the most significant institutions that we have, and yet so often they are overlooked, discounted, not valued enough. And for him, time banking as a complementary currency was the tool, the approach, the thinking that would allow us to truly focus on the core economy of home, family, neighborhood, and community, where human beings are taught to be decent, caring, contributing, passionate for justice, human beings who care for one another and are the best of themselves. So that is Edgar, at least as much as I could share. I could go on and on and on, because he had ways of building institutions as well as principles that underlie it. But these are three critical principles that he had. Human beings are miracles. We need one another, and we must build institutions that nurture our capacities and recognize, honor, and reward them. Thank you so much for this opportunity for sharing this with you.